I'm going to show you guys how I make these on Excel. My instructor gave us a copy of the different topics of like everything we're doing in lecture. So I just made it bigger on Excel to fit my needs, even though you're not really supposed to write a lot on there. But here we go. So I have a clean Excel sheet. It really depends on how many topics you have. So I had 4 on that sheet, I think. Okay, I'll show you guys how I do 5. What I mean by 5 is the different columns you have. So I'm gonna do 5. And then the topics going down really depends on what you're gonna put in those boxes. So I'm gonna put 7 in there just to show you guys. So it'll be 5 across and then 7 down. Oops, 7. All right. So the first thing that I do is I type out my topics. So I'm just gonna put something random. Instagram. Okay, so there's my random topics. Yes, they're all social media accounts. Oh well. Next, I'm gonna put my the things I need to fill in, or the other things I need to fill in. So, I don't know. Okay. Yes, I put IDK because IDK went to put. So, those are my topics. I should say real quick, the first thing, like before you do like your actual topics and whatnot, you want to change the layout of your document. This is so important when it comes to printing. Many times I've like made this entire document and then it comes out on like a vertical piece of paper like this. I'm like, no, I need it like that. Anyways, so you want to go to orientation, hit landscape. It won't actually show you that it like turns like it does in Microsoft Word, but I don't know if you can see these lines, but this shows that it is landscape. Margins, I definitely recommend doing narrow, if not making them custom, and doing like 0.5 all around, and like make the header 0.3, leave it at that. All right, you can almost do 0.25 as well, so we'll just do that. And then what I do is I also center it horizontally and vertically on the page, so that no matter what you have, it's not going to be like all shifted to one side of your paper. So it won't show you any changes right now, but it will when you go to print it. So next thing is to format your cells. So I like to highlight everything that I need and make it into a box. So I do all borders. This next part really comes down to how much can you squeeze on this paper. And for me, it's everything has to be even or somewhat even. So this is how you're gonna format. So you could either click and drag the column that you want to work with, or you can like highlight them and go to format, column width, and then you put in a random number. So I'm not sure like how, because they're like different. Like one's like you have to do 0.2 something or point this something. So I'm just gonna experiment just because I don't remember what I put. So 0.6. Okay, that doesn't make it very narrow or wide. We'll do 1.5. Okay, so 1.5 makes it very wide. But because I have all this room left, you could almost go more, but I'll show you about that little trick later. Same thing goes for the topics you're gonna fill in. So you're gonna do format, row height, and you're gonna put your number in. So I'll just do 0.6 to see what that comes up with. Okay, that's pretty good. But because, I don't know if you guys can see this like blue line right here, this is where your page will stop or will cut off when you print. So you have one here and you have one here. You can drag these up. I'll show you guys. So you can drag it up and they'll print there. But I don't like doing it that way. I like filling as much as I can of the page to get the most of what I need done. So I can just keep playing with the margins again. So I want to highlight everything. Format, we're going to do column width, and then we'll just do 2.0. So that one's a little bit too big. So what I have to do is format it so that it fits that blue line, or before that blue line, if you guys can see it here. You want to make sure that it is within that blue line, or else it's going to print on another sheet of paper. So 1.75. Okay, I'm going to stick with that. So this one you can keep going. We're going to go up to format, column height. We'll do 1.0. See what that gives us. All right. It's a pretty decent box you can make. I'll go a little bit bigger. Oh wait, this one? Okay, I'll just do this real quick. So format, row height. So I'll do 1.25. Oh, but I went over. So you have to make it a little smaller. Do 1. Still a little smaller. Okay, so I mean I'm just before that blue line, but I can actually bring it up. But I don't want to do that. So this is like, so when you're playing with these little measurements, the thing is, I always ask myself, like, do I need this much space up here? These are just my topics, so I like to format them into the center and then also in the middle. That's just me being picky and OCD, but you go with it. So the really cool thing about Excel is that when you go to format everything, you can do it based on what you have in your boxes, or your text boxes. So I have everything right now set at 12-point font in whatever. But if you click between the two boxes that you want to modify, you can double click it and it'll automatically switch it so that you save space. So if I had more things written up here, it would format to, I'll show you guys, I'll just type random things. Okay, so that's my box. So if you actually write more, it's actually a good point though too. If you write more, you can wrap text and it'll automatically like modify it for you so that it fits that text box. It's a really cool feature. I love it. I always say that like Excel is my best friend, but it's like a toss-up between Google and Microsoft products, but whatever. You can always have more than one best friend. Same thing goes for this column. So when you go to write your things, so you could just have like, what is it? Or how do I use it? So this box started to go over into my other box. So this is where when it comes into, I can wrap text, and then I also center it and put it in the middle. I think it's pretty simple. It's a lot. It took me a lot of time to actually figure this out. My mom is an administrative assistant, so she taught me a lot like when I was growing up, and so I've just kind of like learned things either from her, from YouTube. So you just go with it. So anyways, I'm gonna format everything else here. Wrap text, even though really this stuff doesn't need to get wrapped. In the middle, and then centered. So there you go. Now you can see down here that I have that blue line I was telling you guys about. It just did. Okay, so you can drag this blue line up and down. This is basically your print line. Go back. Okay, So you can just bring it up to where you want it and it'll go. Except now it's just not working for me. Okay. When you go up to page layout, instead of dragging this blue line up and down, because it can get really annoying and it might not go where you want it to go, you can go to page layout. There's a little tab called breaks. This might vary depending on which Microsoft product you have. This is 2016, I believe. So you just go to breaks, but don't hit it yet. So there's a couple options here, like insert, remove, whatever. You're gonna highlight the box, or just a box, or the column, or the row, wherever you want to put that break. So right now I've highlighted row 8. I'm gonna hit insert page break, and notice this little blue line will move up. So this is where my page will end, which is right here. So you can do the same thing over here. I'll show you guys on this side in case you want to play with it instead of doing that. So you're gonna do the same thing here. Click the box that you want the line to go, or where you want it to go, and it'll show up right there. Super simple. This was actually something my mom taught me, and it's like I love it now because I can format the documents rather than using that stupid blue line. So let's go look and see what it looks like when you go to print it. So I'll hit print preview and it'll look just like this. I don't know if you guys can see it. So that's what the document will look like when I print it out. If you have more than one thing to put in there, or like more than one page that you want, you can just copy and paste everything, I believe. Let me try that. Okay, so if you have more than one, you can just copy it, I believe. Copy. And I'm gonna go below. I'm gonna hit paste special. I'm gonna do column widths. Oh wait, we're just gonna do all. Let's see what this does. Okay, so it really doesn't do it. I don't know why. I've yet to figure this out. But you'll just have to go through and do the same thing again when you format this. Like when you go to like format the row height back up here. Format. So you hit row height and then you put back that number that you'd had in here. Another thing you could do is if you're like looking to make one box bigger than the other, you don't necessarily have to go up to this format button. You can just click the box that you want to edit and you can like move it up and down. So if I wanted this box bigger, I can make it bigger, and you can make this one smaller. So really depends on what you're doing with it, what you're gonna put in the information. So for those of you who are going to type everything, this wrap text button is so important, because you could just type everything out like I showed you in this like Instagram whatever stuff I typed here. It'll just go in a straight line across, and that could get really annoying with printing, because it'll overlap other things you have in the boxes. So definitely this button, wrap text, is like your best friend on Excel. Like I said, you can have more than one best friend. It's okay. When it comes to formatting the headers and everything that I have like on the topic sides and stuff like that, a lot of times I can turn everything. So on my assignment checklist, on my reading checklist, I made the boxes here, but then I had all the text turned. So I'll show you guys how to do that super fast. It's really easy. So when you click on the box, so I'll do it to the entire row here. You're gonna go up to this like AB like line thing on an angle, orientation is what it's called. You can pick the one that you want. I usually pick rotate text up, so then it looks, I don't know, maybe it's just a personal preference, but you can like put it downwards, which it kind of cuts it off. I don't do that. You can rotate it down if you're gonna put the text on the other side. I don't like, maybe if you're a lefty and you want to put everything on that side. Totally up to you. Do whatever works best for you. Do whatever you want. Like, I think that's like the easiest advice I could give. This is just a tutorial on how to format everything. But yeah, so you can do like this and that. You can make it vertical, which looks kind of, I don't know, weird. So I'll just put it back. So if you don't want that, you just click on the same one that you wanted and it'll go back to normal. Same thing goes for this one. Up here you could just rotate text down, whatever. Yeah. So when you go to print, you want to make sure that your margins and your orientation is set. So I have it on landscape, unless you're gonna make a portrait, totally up to you. You want to go to margins, make sure that you have narrow margins because then you can fit more on a page. I have mine set at 0.25 all around except for the header and footer. I don't really use the header and footer sections much. I think it kind of gets in the way unless it's on a Word document, but you can almost put it at 0 if you wanted. You get more space out of it. So you want to center it horizontally and vertically on the page. So instead it won't like look like a bunch of boxes like on the page. It won't look like that. So you want to horizontally center it, and then also vertically. So it'll make it smack dab in the middle of the page. Hit OK. And then you're gonna go to your print button and you'll print. So I will print out a quick page and I'll show you guys what it looks like. So this is what it looks like when you print it out. I don't remember how I formatted this one so that I had not a lot of white space around it, because this one has a lot. I don't remember. But that's just the basic thing about it. This is that second one I just did. I went to format it and I forgot it printed out, so don't do it like that. But yeah, I hope this helped you guys. It will take time to figure out, especially if you're not really good at Excel, but with time it'll come as like a second nature to you. It'll be so fast and it'll be so helpful for when you do it. One thing I also like to do is I save a template of it. So Microsoft Word will let you save as template. So you can save as template and you just call it whatever. And so I have a separate folder full of templates that I use. So I could just put it as like MedSurge template or MedSurge chart or chart template or something like that. So in the past I've actually just used like the previous documents that I've made and just kind of like saved it as a separate document and then put different topics in it. So totally up to you, however you guys want to do it. So let me know how it goes for you, either on the comments down below or on Instagram. I would love to hear how it goes, and let me see what they look like. I'm excited to see how they turn out. So thank you for watching. I hope it helped, and don't forget to subscribe and follow me on Instagram. Thanks for watching.